let's move on and talk to Nick in Utah. Nick.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey, doing well. I'm waiting for the caffeine to kick in and just happy to be here with a guest and getting other, just that back and forth is just so nice. How about you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. I just wanted to call. I had actually called before your hiatus with basically the same topic, but I'm not sure that I presented it well. Basically, I frequently find with any public figure that sometimes they're just going to have views that you disagree with. Sometimes that means you support them. Sometimes that means that you stop. Specifically, I am a huge fan of the author Brandon Sanderson.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty great. At least I think so. But and he does tend to have pretty liberal or progressive views on things like LGBTQ rights and stuff like that. But he is also still a devout tithe-paying Mormon.
Isn't he a professor at Brigham Young University?
Yeah, he does teach one class a year at BYU. And that's, a whole other controversy in and of itself. But, although Brandon himself has, like I said, these progressive views, he does pay 10% of his substantial income to an organization that does not support those views, and that actively campaign against them in cases like Prop 8 in California, where the church was doing like call centers and stuff to prevent the legalization of gay marriage. So I find myself in this weird place where I'm not quite sure what I should think about it. Because, as an ex-Mormon, I do have a perspective of that tithing is requisite in the Mormon church. It's like they're holding your salvation hostage if you don't
if you're
pay
not
tithing.
Yeah, if you're not in good standing, you can't get married in the church.
In the temple, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was just kind of curious about your guys' perspective on that kind of situation, just because both of you have given me quite a bit of insight before in your different call shows and stuff. So I was just interested to hear what you guys thought about that.
Sure. Elliot, what do you think?
I don't think you will ever find a perfect other individual to represent your views, right? And that sucks a little. There's never going to be a person running for office. There's never going to be a friend or a colleague or a family member that you literally see eye to eye on absolutely everything. And this is why when it comes to the conversation with religious folks who want this super hardcore, strict, absolute, always the case principle of morality, I push back. This is why I don't think that the best way to live your life when it comes to determining what's good and bad is just these bullet points that have to be followed constantly because of this exact situation that you find yourself in. There's this dude out there who writes all this really good stuff, and 9 out of 10 times is just freaking crushing it. Great arguments, super duper compassionate, really on the right side of history, all of that. But in this one area, there's actually something that's not so great. Now, is this guy going out there and, slaughtering puppies? No, it doesn't seem like that's what he's doing, right? So the behavior that he's engaging in, while it's something that you disagree with, and while it's even something that, may demonstrably lead to harm, right? This is where the pragmatism comes in. This is where we as individuals who say, what matters to me is well-being, both on an individualistic level and a societal level. And when we look at that, when we look at that picture, unfortunately, we just got to do the math sometimes. And if the math works out where, hey, yeah, there's this Mormon, and it's not really great that the whole Mormonism thing, that's not, yeah, I really wish that wasn't the case. But look at all this other incredible stuff that this person does. Yeah. That's just a straight scale right there for me, Nick. And again, sure. that means that it's not always going to work out perfectly, you know, but that's okay, because I don't think there is a system where it does work out perfectly. And if you've got one, please call me. I love to talk about morality. So like, let us know what that perfect system is. But yeah, I think it's okay to support somebody like that, man.
Yeah, sure. That makes sense. Sorry, Eric, were you going to say something?
Oh yeah, I was just going to add in. It's an interesting kind of thought, because it's a guilt by association and whether or not somebody should be canceled type of thing. And how do we decide whether or not somebody's done something so awful that it bothers us when we consume their material? Yep. You know, when you bring up the fact that the Mormon Church has done really awful things, and, you know, yeah, sure. And I will not ever support the Mormon Church. But I also don't support the Catholic Church, and there are plenty of content creators and things like that who are Catholic, and I still consume their stuff. You know, I don't support Chick-fil-A, but I'm not going to refuse to talk to somebody who does eat at Chick-fil-A. I'm just going to disagree with that choice, right? I love the Cosmere. I saw a TikTok the other day of somebody who said, who was just, you know, it was a skit. They're talking to a friend, and, you know, hey, how are you doing? Oh, I've just been catching up on Brandon Sanderson. And it just gets quiet.
Yeah, the dramatic music. Yeah,
the dramatic music comes in. You've been what? I haven't seen my family in months. You know, it's just so much to it, and I haven't really seen awfully problematic shit. And because of that, like, I don't think that we should be canceling somebody because they subscribe to something, and that thing itself is the problem. You know, it's this guilt by association by degrees and canceling, and I don't think that we should. Yeah, because then we lose the opportunity to gain that person later, you know? Right. And so as somebody who absolutely loves Brandon Sanderson books, I could not imagine canceling him. And I don't think that, just like Elliot said, not only is it totally understandable because we can't have everything in common with somebody else, I don't see any bad in it. I really don't. So as far as that's concerned, have fun with it. You know, if the day comes that Brandon Sanderson says some really problematic shit, that's the day I'll probably put his books down and stop. But until then, but until then, go ahead.
Oh, no, please finish your thought.
Oh no, what's up?
Well, or if it comes out that he's engaging in certain egregious behaviors, right? Like if we find out that the class that he's teaching at BYU is actually focused on like conversion torture, right? And it's trying to tell gay people that they're not actually attracted to the people that they're attracted to and stuff. Well, then it's like, dude's causing harm. Like, fuck yeah. At that point, yeah, hell yeah. I want to hear you calling in, going like, oh man, fuck Brandon, you know, like totally, man, I'm with it. But if that's not the case, then yeah, I mean, I think it's okay.
And that is how I justify having been an early Kickstarter of so many of Brandon's projects. So like you better believe I've got like the early edition copy of when he released Mistborn as a tabletop RPG. And the board game with a special sleeve and figures and all of that. Oh, come on.
Don't even get me started on all that.
But Nick, thank you for calling in, and thank you for following for so long. We appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
Take care. That was nice.
Yeah. And it is tough to figure out what the right thing to do is a lot of times because of this difficult calculation. And that's why this like simple utilitarianism doesn't work. It has to be more nuanced. It has to take into account so many different factors of life and what a person is. Just, yes, I'm an atheist, but that is not the only freaking thing about me, right? I am a huge rock hound. That's the term for those of us that really love rocks. And we go digging for rocks and stuff. I literally have rock digging tools just in the other room. But like, yeah, it like, there is so much to every single person and every single viewpoint. And to just say, oh man, yeah, but like this guy's still a Mormon, you know, or like, man, this guy's great, but like they do believe in chakras. It's like, well, yeah, okay, and that's wrong, and I agree, that's not right, but they're also down at the local soup kitchen literally every weekend. They're actively on the front lines supporting trans rights and the right to vote and freedom of speech. It's like, I don't know, man. You believe in your fucking chakras, like.
Yeah, or just, you know, so from what I've seen of Brandon Sanderson stuff in particular, it's just, I haven't seen him necessarily at soup kitchens. He might be, but he's just also like not doing bad stuff. It's just, he's just writing like a madman, and yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if ever in my lifetime I'm going to fully catch up. I stopped a couple of years ago, and I've seen that like a dozen books have come out since then, and I don't even know where to start. But all right.